So, hello again, everyone, and welcome to our call today, our European Ringing Cedars community call. Nice that you are here. In the beginning, I just would like to inform you that this session will be recorded for the benefit of others, and later it will be posted on YouTube as an audio session. So yes, that's just that you know. Yeah, Johanna, how are you doing? Johanna is somebody who is very often on our calls, so we know each other already. And yeah, so we don't have to introduce ourselves anymore. And yeah, let's see what's going on. Hi, Johanna.
Hi, Agata. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. And yeah, today the weather is not that great here, so it was more indoor day for me, but still I was a little bit outside, but not that much. But yeah, and you?
Yeah, at my place it's not sunny, but it's not really raining either. So it was a nice day to go hiking in the mountains and pick some wild garlic on the way.
Cool, cool. Hello, Maria. We have Maria as well. Oh, she disappeared. Maybe she will come back again. Anyway, she's gone. Yeah, so maybe just for the beginning, I would like to tell you, I don't know if you have seen already the last update video that Gabriel has done yesterday. I think it was really, really good. He presented there and the updates, what is going on. So the Anastasia Foundation is growing very, very well and fast, and that's of course beautiful. So the community is growing from all over the world. People are coming in, and after his last interviews, we got a lot of new people joined our Telegram group and our Facebook group. So just for those of you who are not there yet but would like to join, feel free. You can find all the important links on the webpage, Anastasia Foundation. And yeah, that's of course you can always contact Gabriel or me or whoever from our team. You will receive all the information on the webpage. Yeah, that's the one important thing I wanted to mention today before we start talking, and I forget about it. So yeah, so really, if you haven't seen it yet, take a look, because what is it all about? So Gabriel had a great idea to create a space on the web page for people who got inspired by reading Anastasia books and who are being creative and create maybe some music or art or poetry, because we know there are so many people around the world who have done beautiful things and who are creative and do create wonderful music that can inspire others. And we would like those people to be to show themselves, and for especially their art, because this can inspire others. So yeah, this is why it is so important. And in our English-speaking world, or I would say people around the world who are not connected yet, but would like to share their experience, their knowledge, now they have the opportunity. So if you are somebody like this, or you are looking for connection to others, like-minded, to other like-minded people, and you would like to share your experience and inspire others, just contact us. This is very important tool. And I have already done some interviews with people and met people who, after reading Ringing Cedars books, who got really inspired and created books or music. And yeah, that's very important. And of course, we want to spread Anastasia vision. We want to spread our own creative work, and this is very good for all generations and for people around the world, because you know, when you create a beautiful picture or when you create some nice, wonderful, inspiring music, you reach people from all countries and all cultures, and it doesn't matter if where you live. And this is so wonderful. We connect with our hearts and with our soul, and this connection is very powerful and strong. And we can, with this work, we can reach a lot of people and create something wonderful and change our world. This is why it's so important. And for example, here in Europe, I know we have a lot of Ringing Cedars readers in different countries, and not everyone speaks English. And those who speak English maybe don't know yet about this community. So if you are somebody who can share this message, or you know somebody, then please let them know, because we want to connect people from all across Europe, and we want to, and of course also with America, but we are here. This call is for our European time zone. And yeah, so I just wanted to mention it because, yeah, not everybody knows it maybe. And this new idea which Gabriel had about creating this web page and this opportunity where your story, your experience, your art can be shown and shared and inspire other people. Yeah. I know, Johanna, you are also an artist. What are you doing? Want to say something about it?
Yes, well, I do different kinds of arts, but they all connect to in the point that they are connecting to nature, and that I create in a way as natural as possible. So I'm an actress. I paint, and I carve little wooden pendants out of wood I have here in the region, and on those pendants I burn patterns into them, but I don't use an electric burning stick. I use a magnifying glass and the power of sunlight to burn them into it. And well, in everything I do, I try to go with every step closer to nature and away from electricity.
Yes, this is very important, and we know that yeah, we can all do something, and we can all change anything for better in the world. Of course, we cannot do everything at once. You know, there are people, of course, they want to leave electricity, they want to be self-sufficient and everything to do within 1 day or 2 days. Yeah, it doesn't work that way, and we have to be patient, and we have to take time. And it's also a lesson, it's also experience, and it also helps us to grow and to evolve.
Of course it is, and I'm not where I want to be. I'm far away from where I want to be, but I'm moving towards that, and step by step, and even if it's tiny little steps, they will bring me there. And yes, and I also do write poems.
Wow, excellent. So maybe for next time you can prepare something, show us something from
maybe.
your art, your picture, some picture you painted, some, or maybe whatever you create, because it can be so inspiring, you know. I like We have Dennis. Hi Dennis, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Yeah, spring here we've had a cold and snowy April here, and I wanted to start planting things, but I have to wait again. But I guess today's Beltane, right? Can you hear me?
If you depend on the calendar, it is yes. If you depend on the moon, it is not yet.
Oh. Einhorn's a Zoom me at this time.
Sorry?
For Beltane today.
I can't hear you.
Your voice is a bit
Hear me?
cutting.
Yeah, it
Can
was
you hear me?
yeah, a little bit better.
Can you hear me?
It's broken.
Yeah, there's another meeting Friday at the time in Feinhorn community. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now better.
Okay.
What meeting did you mean?
There's a meeting for in Feinhorn community for Beltane at this time today.
Oh, I see.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I've never really paid much attention to it.
And
Beltane.
okay, yeah. And how, so did you start already your gardening or not? Or is it still too cold?
No, it's been cold and snow.
Okay, so it's really
All
even
this
worse
month.
than in Austria, where Johanna is.
What? It's like what?
It was a joke. Johanna knows it was a joke. No,
I live in the mountains and we have snow, very much snow, but right now it's not snowing and it's almost gone. Almost. Not all of it, but almost.
Yeah, usually it's a lot more melted by now, but it got cold this month again. So
yeah, you have to be patient. You can, teach yourself in being patient.
yeah, I've been patient. So
I'm not that patient anymore. I put my tomatoes already outside a few days ago, and so far they are doing great. So I just send them love and energy every day. I greet them every morning and hope that they will be doing fine. But I have to say that when I put them out, it was the first time I put them and the weather was very warm and a lot of sun, and it was really like 20 degrees Celsius, which was warm. So it was a bit shock for them. And then I thought to myself, oh, maybe it was too much for the first time. And yeah, but it was too late to put them back in again, because I prepared something for them, the place where they are, and created some space. So I put them there, and yeah, the first hours they were fighting a little bit. They were not doing that well, but then they survived. So for them it was also survival training, and now I think they will be strong, and all of them survived, which I'm very happy and proud of them and proud of me. So let's hope that now it will be better. Well, today is not that good. It's cloudy, but the worst thing that could happen to them is that we could get some frosty nights. During the day it's not frosty anymore, but I'm watching the weather report every evening, and when it's gonna be bad, then I would put something on them and cover them. So I hope everything will be fine. We have already.
Yeah, I spend 1 week here, and then I go for 2 weeks. I spend out in the forest.
Wow.
And so I had to get a self-watering system, because I was trying to start seeds and they were drying out.
Wow.
So I got some watering spikes. That will help.
Amazing. Do you live in the forest, or where do you live?
I was living in the forest all the time. I just recently qualified for an apartment in town, but I'd rather be out there because I like to be outside with my dog. And but I got a big planter I can put on my porch here. And then I can also plant stuff out there.
Mm-hmm. Country are you
like
from?
to be out there.
What country are you from?
I'm in United States. I'm in the Rocky Mountains of Idaho, and there's 7 to 8 months of snow here. So
like Siberia.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. So
you can be proud of yourself, that you're living almost like Anastasia.
No, I haven't really been able to do what she does. I have to build I have to have a fire, you know, to keep warm. I can't hibernate.
Not
And
yet.
I haven't been able to really grow my own food. I mean, really, most people in colder climates have to hunt, you know, to get enough food.
Yes.
And I'm not a very good hunter.
Oh, I believe you. Yeah, these are the challenges, and it is so interesting to listen to you, because you are from the region where the weather it's challenging, yeah, for gardening, and the idea
Yeah.
is beautiful, but yeah, it's
I,
important to start, yeah, and you started already. Great.
I came here on purpose over 20 years ago. I wanted to come to the big mountains, and I wanted to try to live, you know, in primitive conditions, but it's a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But I was attracted to extreme snow. I don't know why. I, it's hard. It's challenging anyway.
But there must be a reason why you are where you are, yeah? Deeper reason.
Yeah, I wanted to see wilderness, and, you know, which has been changed here as it's been changed everywhere. But yeah, I was attracted to the mountains.
I
And there's a lot of
absolutely get
lakes.
you.
What?
I love the mountains too.
Yeah. There's a lot of really high alpine lakes here, and I really love the lakes as well. So,
And how high is that where you live?
McCall is like 5,000 feet
Mm-hmm.
here. And then the mountains, they go up over 9,000 feet. They're not the tallest area, but yeah, the tallest peak in McCall is around over 9,000 feet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the lakes are around 7,000 feet.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's beautiful, beautiful area. I've never been there, but I can imagine that the wilderness and nature is beautiful. And of course, America is such, or United States is so great. There are so many beautiful places everywhere. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not difficult to find wilderness and to feel free to be alone. Here in Europe, it's more difficult because we don't have that much space and room, and there are many people living, you know. Of course, there are still places where you can be alone. That's not the point, but not as many as in America. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's controlled. You're not allowed to live out there, but I
Mhm.
do anyway. I'm secluded.
You're a rebellion. That's good.
Huh? What?
You are in a rebellion. That's good.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't be? This society's no good. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah. So,
anyway.
what are your plans? What are your plans for the summer? What do you want to do? Have you any special ideas you would like to manifest for this summer?
Yeah,
Weather has been-
I planted seeds before I moved to Idaho. You know, I had a garden back. Came from the East Coast to here in 1999, but I haven't really been able to plant anything. I just, because of the climate, and I just didn't have a lot of money for seeds or anything. And so, yeah, this is the first year I'm going to start trying to plant seeds, and, out there and also here. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And
Yeah, that's great.
and
And as we said before, it's important to start, where we are. And it's
yeah, I
always,
don't have any property, and that's a hard thing. I know a lot of people are having problems with that. And yeah, I'd love to have some property. I could set up a domain, but I'm alone, just me and my dog. So that's really hard.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I
I'm,
want to try to connect with more people. I really haven't been able to connect with a lot of people here,
mhm.
you know.
Are you
And
connected on our Telegram group and Facebook? There are many people.
Yeah, I have a problem with the Telegram group. I need to talk to Gabriel because I'm on the British Columbia Telegram, but the other Telegram, for some reason, I can't access it. It says chat not available. I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, and I know there's a huge group.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the Telegram group is really growing and people from all over the world are joining. So it's really beautiful. So for sure you could find somebody who is from the not far away from you and maybe create something together, because that's...
I'm on the British, I'm on the North American
mm-hmm.
Anastasia Foundation community.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on several groups there, but not many, there's people in Canada, there's people on the West Coast, but not too many in Idaho. And I'm also on Facebook. I'm trying to, I want to get on the big Telegram too, because I feel like I'm missing out.
Yes.
There's a lot of information on there, I know. But I usually hike up to the high lakes in the summer. I don't know. I broke my ankle last June, and I'm having a long recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically trying to get rid of toxins because my knees had built up just from the injury and all this toxins in our environment. My knees are a lot better now. They were terribly sore. But tomorrow I need to get these metal plates out because my ankle still hurts a lot. Mm-hmm. And I want to be able to hike. But I have an appointment tomorrow, and I don't want to have surgery, but I don't want these plates in there. I think they're causing me a lot of problems,
Yeah. Well, everything will come, everything, step by step. The most important is that you have your clear vision, you have your goal, what you want to achieve, and what is your long-term perspective. And I'm sure then, the universe and the creator will provide you. You will receive what you need, like all of us. And I think this is so important to say in this call that, we are all in different places and we are all in different situations in life, and it is all for a purpose. And maybe just to learn to be patient and to go step by step is so important. This is such a great lesson. And of course, when we read the book and when we get so inspired and we would like to have everything tomorrow, this is not how life is. It can be, but we have to change ourselves and we have to change within us. And it's a process. It's work.
I feel like I've just been waiting and waiting, and I think a lot of it, I was into Native American spirituality 30 years ago, and a lot of it's so similar to Anastasia. But it wasn't until I read Anastasia's books last summer that I realized that I really didn't know the path forward until I read her books, was to connect, reconnect. I was trying to reconnect with nature, but I didn't fully understand it. And she's given all who we are back to us, I feel like. And for the first time, I feel like I know what to do. Before I just felt like I was just waiting for something to happen, Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful that now you can be active and you feel confident and you know that's where to go and what to do, what to change. I think that's the most important.
Yeah,
It's how to start.
It's overwhelming, but I guess you just try to do something every day, right? That's the best you can do.
Exactly. Every day we can do some good deeds. Every day we can change a little bit. Every day we can create something. And then step by step it will come. I saw some videos and contacted also people who create their king's domain, and it is a process. It takes time, and it's not so easy, so that people get frustrated sometimes easily, and they just throw it, you know, the idea, throw it away and say, okay, I cannot do that. But we should not forget that the vision that Anastasia gives in the books, it's not for the next 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Long-term project.
I don't feel like I can give up on this. It's just, I mean,
we all
just
feel like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not only you. We all feel sometimes that it's not going fast enough, and yes, that's normal. But I've learned for myself.
Yeah. It's been slow for me my whole life. I've, you know, been in such lack, you know, just lack of abundance, and I don't. But now that I see everything's, you know, everybody's waking up now, so I think I see all the possibilities now. I think it's really happening.
Yeah, but maybe those experiences you had done before were important too. What do you think, Johanna?
Well, I think that whatever you've experienced...
Or we all, not just you, yeah, we all.
Yeah, we all experienced so far, but you've been living in the wilderness for years, and you know how to live there, and you probably had plenty of time to watch the plants and the animals, and you have another understanding of how they work together than someone who has been in the city all the time and now decides to create their kin domain. And well, I'm sure that will help you very much, that you know that connections and all of that.
Oh, I couldn't live in the city. It was so hard for me, the noise and the pollution. I came here to get away from all that, you know. I couldn't do it anymore. Yeah. But it's just a lot harder than I thought it would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Today I also listened to watch a video from somebody from Russia, a young woman, who started to tell her story. So she has been living on a kin's domain settlement in Russia for 2 years, in a big one. And she said she came also from the city, and that she said that it is a big challenge. Yeah, and even if she, you know, read the books and yeah, prepared herself, it is still a challenge. And even after 2 years, she says it's not that it's just you know, everything is wonderful and everything is running. We always have our lessons and our challenges. So wherever we are, that's why I don't believe, and I say it openly because I am sure about it, it's not enough to go you know, to be a part of a settlement and then everything changes. It's not the way how it is. So the same, the place where you are, or where we all are, we can start to work and prepare ourselves for this step. And when it's there and we have done the work before, our inner purification, our, you know, to transform our shadow sides, our karmic connections to other people, and all those patterns which are in our subconscious mind. This will help us, and when we do that, then we can feel more happy, abundant, and everywhere, wherever we go. And when we then get the opportunity to live on a King's Domain settlement, then everything will be easier. But many people just think, and this woman said it so beautifully, that people take everything from the city and bring it out to the settlement, and the problems are still there. Just the faces change maybe, but the challenges, they stay. And so that's so important, that it's not just in my opinion, to be impatient and to wait. Okay, I have to be there and just have just, you know, wasted time with doing nothing, just waiting. We can do anything wherever we are. So you live now in nature, you are connected to nature, you can grow there, you can gain knowledge, and you have already in wisdom because you've been there for a long time. And later you can share it with others and give everything you know to other people, and, you know, share it. This is such a great value. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it takes time now because so much of our soil has been destroyed because of all the chemicals and everything.
Yeah.
It's coming, you know, from everywhere, the water and the air, and it's still happening, and it's you know, it takes a while to rebuild the soil, and I know there's a lot of even large groups of people all over the world who are working with soil and water and everything, but that's still gonna take some time.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, but these Anastasia books are so wonderful, and there will always be people who just start and who just begin and read the books and get inspired. And, you know, the more people start to change and grow and their consciousness expands, then the changes will become faster. Yeah, that's how I see it. But we need this time. We are the first generation, let's say like this, after these books. It's just 20 years. It's nothing against the eternity. Yeah. What is 20 years? Yeah. When you take a look at a tree, a beautiful oak or cedar, how many years it takes for a tree to grow, and we want to have everything tomorrow. And when it doesn't happen, we're disappointed. Yeah, a tree is never disappointed that it needs time to grow. And when you see a little oak next to a great one, it will never be jealous, or it will never feel smaller and less worth because it's small and not that big. And there is so much we can learn from nature.
Even children, if they learn something new, they are not disappointed about what they still have to learn. They are happy about what they just have learned.
Exactly. That's the point. They are innocent, they have light heart, and they are just living in the moment. And we get older and collect all these negative patterns, you know, this subconscious ideas which are then so deep within us, and then when something and they run us like, you know, it's like program. And the books help me, of course, too, to realize so many things. And as I say, I don't read them again. I read them all, but now I don't read them from 1 to 10, but just I take a book and then just spontaneously I open it and read some pages. And now I'm working with part 5. This is the German version. And for example, yesterday I read this chapter about, maybe you remember, about this old professor, this old scientist in Russia who was sick and lived in a great house somewhere, was rich. And then he had this woman who helped him, young woman. You know the story I'm talking about? Yeah, and this was so inspiring to me, even if I already knew this story because I read this chapter already. And now again, I found something new, and yeah, it's so amazing. That's why I love these books. And there's so much knowledge every time I pick it. Something new appears to myself, and I learn more and more.
Yeah, that story was inspiring because I'm older.
You're not that old yet.
63. So
right? How old are you?
63.
Okay, then you can still do a lot of things.
And when you read about this old man, he was really crippled with, you know, I've had toxins in my body causing joint pain from this injury, and he was all crippled with stuff. But when he read the books, all of a sudden he started trying to walk again, then that young woman was trying to give him herbs and everything. He just had a new lease on life, even though he was older.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that story.
Who says that we can only, we are only able to get to 100 years? It's a mentality thing. If we would set the limit to 150, or we would reach that.
Or 500.
Like a 4-minute mile.
We used to live a lot longer, and then we walked away from paradise. We walked away from our connection to the earth, and everything got really toxic. And
I've heard that even in the Bible there are people talked about people that are 300 years or something like that, and that wasn't a translation.
No, definitely not. That's what they tried to tell us, that it was a mistake in translation.
They did.
And even there are people who lived in the Bible in the Old Testament, there were 800 years and something like that, that it was normal. It's just a subconscious program that tells us you get 100 and maximum 100 and then you're gone. But when we conquer this program, when we learn how to transform it, then it will change. And even in the books we can read about the grandfather and the great-grandfather of Anastasia, and they were also older, and they decided consciously to leave the body. And that's the point, I think, that we decide consciously, that you say to yourself, okay, now it's enough and I want to leave. But if you don't decide to leave, you can stay here. And there are immortal masters living in Himalaya and also in other parts of the world. And for them, it is normal. It is just they were eternal. They conquered death and they can live for thousands of years.
Well, a lot of these, like the priests and everything, they knew of methods to keep them living longer, and even resurrection and everything. But I think the key to living longer is to reconnect with creation and our creator selves, and to have that loving relationship again. That's what we had in the beginning. And that's what kept us eternal.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. And when we learn to connect to nature again, we will get healthy again. And as Anastasia said, every disease can be healed within 3 days.
3 days?
Yes, that's what she said.
Now?
Of course, there are masters in Himalaya who can heal yourself within seconds. So that's possible even faster. Well, Jesus healed people within seconds.
Oh, I know.
But we don't have the power at the moment. We have the power, but we are not aware of it.
He could only heal people that were open to it, I believe.
Yes.
And I've heard so many stories about people who healed in like that.
Yeah.
From especially from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who does a lot of mind work and setting your mind to become the person you want to be, not just to be the person of the past, but to become the person of you want to be in the future. And
and there are enough examples of people who have done it, so it's not something impossible. They conquered these subconscious patterns, they conquered this program, and they left their past. And when you leave your past, you live in the moment, and then you are not the same person. You don't have the same DNA. You don't have the same thoughts, and your thoughts and emotion create, of course, our diseases, our attitude. Our attitude is the most important thing, and this is what creates all this negative things in our life.
Yeah, but even with, I used to think everything was emotional, all disease was emotional. But I think also that we need this relationship, we need to connect with this relationship with the earth and all life on earth, a loving relationship. I think that's,
that can heal us too. Yeah.
Because otherwise we have a degenerative system that's just putting out more, killing things and putting out more toxins. And it's like we're constantly trying to take care of these toxins. We shouldn't have to do that.
Well, the more you connect to nature and live with nature, the less you need all these toxins and the stuff of the system.
Well, they're in our environment.
But you don't produce them if you don't need certain things. And if you don't produce them, they will reduce themselves, because there are many helpful energies and bacteria and all of them, they work together. And
but it's in a
produce any waste, it will be less and less.
Yeah, but it's out of balance in our environment, and we need to take care of that.
Yes, definitely. But we can only take care of environment when our consciousness changes. Because when you go to the city and tell people to do different thing and not to do different thing, they will tell you you're nuts, yeah? So they are not ready for that yet. And we cannot just push it and say, to be dogmatic and fanatic and say, go to the city and say, from now on, everyone should stop eating meat, should stop doing this, doing that. It wouldn't work. Yeah, that's we have to be aware of it. It is a long process, and those people who have the consciousness to change certain things in their life, they will be an example for them, and they will inspire them. But we cannot go and force other people to stop doing certain things, because those toxins and all those awful bad things that are happening now in the world, those really pollution, it is so bad. It is so bad what's going on also in the oceans, in water, everywhere.
Well, I want to add, it can be a long process, but it must not. It can be a very short process if you just change the way you view life. And if other people do that, it can be very, very short. It's just how many people do that, and exactly. How we lead by example.
Yes, and how many people will...
by example, well...
Exactly. Somebody has to start, yeah? Somebody has to start. Right. And you see, Anastasia started with the books. She came... My feeling and my understanding is that she came here to show us the possibilities, to show us a different way of life, to show us how we can get healthier, how we can save and heal our planet and ourselves. And she has done it. And look, there are people like us who got inspired, who love the books, who do something, but there are still people who don't, and you will not reach them by forcing them. It must be something in their soul, in their heart. They must be ready for it, and then they will see others and they will say, okay, I want to be like this. They will understand that there is a better way and there is hope, and we don't have to die with 70, 80, and we don't have to get sick. Everyone, when I think a lot about physical immortality, and I know it is possible. I've been on my spiritual path for a long time, and I met people who had contact to those masters, Himalaya masters, who are there, have been there for thousands of years, and yeah, so it is important to spread this knowledge, and I am sure we don't have to die. We don't have to die. We can, well, if we want, and it's optional. I always say death is optional. Yeah. So my big desire is that I can transform my own pattern. Yeah, I'm working on that, but I know it is a process, and I will do that. I will do the best I can for myself. And yeah, we will see what happens. But there is a desire, and when you are ready for it, new possibilities open, and then we choose. We have more possibilities to choose what we want. Look, we say we don't want to live in the cities. We don't want to produce toxin. We don't want. So we are changing. We are doing a lot already. And even this meeting we are having now, we don't know who will watch it in the future. And maybe somebody out there in the future gets inspired by hearing your word and will say, okay, I want to change something in my life too. This is wonderful. Yeah.
I've been noticing groups just in the past few months that they may have read Anastasia's books, but there's people that are, there's one called Waterworks or Water Stories that's working with water all over the world and changing our deserts into rainforests, because I don't think deserts are natural.
Exactly, you're right. And Sahara used to be a jungle some thousand years ago, and it's proven, it's known. So it was not
even
always.
I think 400 years ago, if you look at the maps of where Sahara is now, there have been cities.
Yeah, exactly. Look, oh, I got energy now. Chills on my body. That's a confirmation always. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and according to Anastasia, the whole earth was a paradise.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we began transforming things into deserts when we started plowing the soil and destroying the soil. And there's people actually working with all over the world with building food forests and changing agriculture in this country and working with water. And I'm just amazed that these groups have just come up this year.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we see there are also other groups of people who maybe, as you say, don't know Anastasia, but they feel the call in their souls, in their heart, and they just follow because they know it's not good what's going on now. We have to reconnect to nature, and that's our chance for the future and for the next generation. So there are many other wonderful beings, people all over the world, and also those who, for example, meditate and try to clear waters or save animals and so on. So it's beautiful, yeah.
Yes, I think we all have that in us. We don't really need someone to tell us how it can look like, but some of us have lost the connection or kind of lost it or partly lost it, and they need something from outside to remind them. But we have them, not to teach them, but to remind them, and that reminding means you have it, you already have it. And well, me as a child, I knew the feeling of a kinderman, but I never had a picture from the outside world. The closest thing was a farm, and a farm is nothing near from the energy field to a kinderman. And so I was a little bit distracted, but when I read the books, it was like someone is just telling me what I already knew from the feeling.
Yeah, that's really a great example. That the soul remembers everything, and that's how I feel when I read the Anastasia book, the ancestors, about our ancestors. Yeah, so about Vedrus civilizations, and so I normally I have pictures when I get connected to some other dimensions or my own past lives or all this stuff. But this was the first time with the Anastasia books that I get feelings, no pictures, like you said, Johanna, that I didn't know, but the feeling is so strong about these Vedrus civilizations and how they lived. It was just so alive in me, in my heart again. that was so uplifting and so beautiful. And I knew, okay, I used to be, I must have been there because this connection was strong. So my soul just, yeah, everything is recorded in our soul, every experience, every thought, every lifetime. And we get reminded, and maybe this is just a tool, one of different tools Anastasia gave us just to reconnect ourselves to nature. And nature is our greatest teacher. I always repeat it because this is how it is. And as Johanna said, we don't need anybody to teach us really, especially those fanatics, you know, who think they know the truth and you have to follow them and only this way is the right way. And any other path is, you will end up somewhere, you know, in, I don't know, burning. It's ridiculous, yeah, how the religion have treated people and so it's time that it changes.
I was terrified as a child. I believed that when I died I would cease to exist, and that terrified me because I couldn't believe in hell. And the way they talked about heaven seemed like I'm never going to qualify to go to heaven. So I thought I would cease to exist.
You see, this is the program they wanted. Exactly, that's what they wanted to reach.
It was terrifying, and I had to distract myself for years until I discovered a Native American spirituality and our connection to nature. And then it just transformed me. I wasn't as afraid anymore. It was a lot of stress.
But a great healing as well. Yeah, it was a great transformation within your soul and your life, because you see all these memories, they are so deep rooted within us, you know, that not everybody was able to heal it. And there are still billion of people around the world who still think and believe what they hear in the church, that you're not good enough, you're a sinner, and you will end up in hell burning forever and ever, and nobody will give you a glass of water, you know, all those stupid pictures they are feeding children and everyone. And then when they keep repeating it over and over again for lifetimes, for centuries, then the soul records it, and that's why people feel like this. So it is a great deal to heal it, and there are different ways how to heal this deep wounds. And you have your connection with the Native Americans who helped you. To me, it was my past life regression therapy which helped me to heal all these deep wounds, and now it's done. I don't go to church anymore, and they don't have to tell me anything, all of this, BS. I don't believe anything, but I know that there are still people who need this help and who have to transform this, this deep shadow sides. That's why I work as past life regression therapist and rebirther, because that has helped me. And I can only, of course, give other people what I have experienced, not any philosophy or any theory, but just the way that it helped me. And there are so many other people and so many other directions and possibilities how we can heal our past. It's so important.
Yeah, I don't remember my past. I think there's trauma there, and maybe a lot of fear. Maybe I'm afraid of what I will remember, so I've never really, maybe in my dreams I connect. I don't know. Yeah.
And you know, this example you mentioned before, that you said, well, it was, you have lived in lack before and you had to struggle with financial situation. It is also rooted in these subconscious patterns you mentioned, that you feel guilty, you feel not good enough to access, paradise to you're not worthy. And when we feel we're not worthy, then we often struggle with financials because we think we don't deserve it. It's also only our subconscious pattern. Yeah? And we produce this reality later.
Well, I had a huge fear of other people since I was born. And that really kept me in lack because you have to be able to interact to, you know, be financially successful.
Yeah.
And also self-worth, which everybody's had misunderstands self-worth. You know, it's not what you do, it's innate. We're born infinitely worthy, and that it took me a while to find the teachings to discover that.
Yes, but now you realize it, and now you are on your way and you transform it, so things will change in your life because you realize it. As soon as you realize it, you transform it and you heal it, and then it disappears, you know. And it's a process, of course. You know you are worthy, you know you are enough, you know you are loved, you know you are God, you are a divine being. No one in the church or wherever can tell you go to burn in a hell. Yeah? They will burn maybe in hell when they create such reality for themselves.
But it goes really deep. You know, you really have to, on a daily basis, just work with it because, you know, since you were born, you're basically taught you can't trust yourself. You're not good enough. And it's just, it takes time, I think.
Exactly. And it's not the first time, you know, that you were born and you were told these things. It was in every lifetime before that, or in many lifetimes. When you go to the Middle Ages, imagine what was going on here in Europe. The people, they were burning, they were destroyed, they were tortured just because somebody didn't like what they thought. Yeah? And this all is written in our soul and in our DNA. And these are these wounds that when we realize it, we can change it. And the Anastasia books show us the same, but on a different way. She explains it, how the religion were created and who created them and why. And when we connect the dots, then we realize, well, it makes sense. We have Mary. Mary, hi. Would you like to say something? Just if so, just unmute yourself, but feel free. You know, we are here in such a cozy discussion. Hi.
Hi. Is it me?
Yes, it is you. Would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
You mentioned past life regression. How would you go about that? Has come up for me a few times that I've never actually investigated it. But I think it's something that I would be interested in.
Okay, I can tell you a little bit about how it works, how I have. Oh, you have something. Show us.
No, they have been doing this Stuart Wilson and Joanna's Prentice. It's they have gone back to the life of Joseph of Arimathea through past life regression, and I've read another book as well, you know, going back. I can't remember what the other one was. I'm just, you know, it's great to be able to talk to you, and thank you. This is a wonderful forum. I very much appreciate it. So your advice on this, what would it be from your own experience?
Okay, I can tell you about it, but I'm just curious before I start to explain to you and tell you more how my experience and everything. Where are you from? We're just curious.
Ireland, south of Ireland.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Magical place.
Oh, dull.
Oh, yes, it is. Well, so my experience is that, you know, about years ago, I think it was over 10 years ago, I was just in a point of my life where I was curious, you know. I wanted to know, have I lived before or not? Is it true? What is reincarnation? So I just decided I want to know it. And I was so committed to this and so bold that I said, I have to do it. And I live in Germany, by Munich, and here there was a very famous man. His name was Thorvald Detlefsen in the 80s and 70s and 60s, and he developed past life regression therapy, which was very, very successful. And he was like a pioneer here in Europe for this therapy form, for this topic. And he, as I said, he really helped a lot of people. He wrote books and he was very successful. And then he had some students, and one of his students was my therapist. Yeah, when I was so curious. And the therapy was so amazing and so transforming to me and so life-changing that I really was able to see my past lives, experience myself, but also to realize my subconscious shadow side, because this is the most important thing. Of course, we are all curious and we want to know, have I lived before? Have I lived 10,000 years ago? Have I lived with Jesus? Have I lived in the Middle Age? And as far as I was able to go back during my therapy, which took me like 6 weeks, and later also during my education, because I learned from him and now I do it the same, help people. So I was able to really go back far away to the past, and even where I was on a different planets and different dimensions. That's why when I read the books, Anastasia books, what do you think? Is it the past or is it the future? Because now we want to go there and be there, and we dream that it will be our future. But when you're really connected to your Holy Spirit, to your higher self, you see that there is no time. That everything is simultaneously. And we all have access to all these levels, of consciousness. So this was my experience. So I was able to see myself in very different lives, experienced a lot, experienced beautiful lives, but also traumatic lives, difficult situations. So actually everything, I was the victim and I was the murderer, everything. And that's why I realized that everything is within us. And when we realize that we have been already everything, all of us, because it's not true that we had 10 times, we had 10 lives or 20 lives, we have thousands of lives before. Really, so many, and we go far back beyond 5,000 years ago, or Jesus, or ancient Egypt. There's been, life on earth much, much longer. And and then after experiencing this many different lifetimes and myself in these different situations, I realized that everything was experience and everything was important for my personal growth, for my soul. And I stopped to judge myself. And this was the greatest healing, to forgive myself, to forgive whatever I had done. And I really was bad person many, many times, like we all. That's why I don't judge anybody today anymore, because we all have done it. And it was important to be in all these different situations, because it helped us. It's the soul, it's the journey of the soul to experience everything. And then when you realize it, it helps you a lot. And then you heal your past traumatic topics like one of that is, for example, luck. Yeah, that we all, this is just one example, such a classical example, how many people struggle in different situations or in relationships or with diseases. It's not a coincidence that somebody gets cancer, for example, or any other sickness, disease, because we're not in harmony. But why are we not in harmony? Because we don't love ourselves. We don't forgive ourselves. We can only do it when we experience within us all our sides. And then we say, okay, it was allowed to be. It was allowed to be. And yeah, that's why for me today, it's very natural that somebody like Anastasia comes to the earth and help us and gives us information and helps us to grow. Yeah. So it is really a great, great thing when you have the possibility to do past life regression therapy, but of course there are different way how people do it. I do it too, as I said. So if you're interested, you can, we can get in contact and I can tell you more how I do that. And I offer it to my clients. So now I work as past life regression therapist and do sessions with my clients. Yeah. But I don't want to do it now the rest of the session about past life therapy. But if you want to know it, I will write you down my email address and you can contact me. Would you like that?
Yes, thank you.
Are you able to read the chat?
Sorry, what chart?
The chat message. I send it now.
Oh yes, sorry. Okay.
So you can.
I'm not very good on this. No, I think I can.
And my name is Agata Janik. So
yes.
I am also on Facebook. I'm also on the Telegram group. So if you're somewhere there connected on our webpage, on our platform, you can connect me and I will tell you more, answer all your questions. We can make a Zoom call and so on. So we will not, don't know if others are interested in that topic. So, yeah.
Thank you.
How did you find out about our call today? Are you connected to us on Telegram or somewhere, Facebook or?
I actually I've read 4 of the Anastasia books, and I joined the group on Facebook.
Oh, I see.
And I followed that, and then there was a video. Gabriel was interviewed by some Canadian lady on YouTube a few days ago. It was 1 hour and 30 minutes, and it was just fantastic, you know. But I think I've listened to one of you. I think you might have been on YouTube back about a month ago, and it was, I'm not sure now if it was you or not, but it was a lovely interview. It was very interesting, and yeah, I got introduced to this through it was a book, Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, and I think she is Anastasia's grandmother. She's the same bloodline. So I just was very curious since then, and it feels like it feels like a beautiful journey, but I think I'm stuck. I'm reading these things, but I just feel stuck, and that's why I was thinking of the past life regression. So yeah, I must join your Telegram group, but yeah, this is fantastic. It's wonderful the way you're facilitating this and, you know, sharing your knowledge and helping people. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, this is wonderful. So we can also connect on Facebook if you want to send me the invitation. I announced this call on the Facebook group, so you can find me through that as well. It's always good to be connected on Facebook because then we can reach out to each other quickly to every topic, whatever it is. Some people contact me and ask me where is the next call or whatever. So I always like to be connected to on Facebook with our community, and we are going to grow our European community. And it's wonderful that you're here. You're for the first time here Maria. So yeah, welcome. We have
Wonderful to be here. Thank you.
we have our meetings every other Sunday. So when you feel inspired and would like to share something or add something, always feel free. You're always welcome. And yeah, so it's wonderful to have you here. And yeah. Yes, this is great what Gabriel created with the Anastasia Foundation, and we are growing, and it's so wonderful. I love to be a part of this community because we meet so many wonderful people. All of you, I wouldn't have been able to meet without this, so it's just great. Yeah, I'm really happy. Thank you, Mary, for yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you want to share something else, feel free, because we are now here, as I said, really relax and speak, yeah, like in a cafe or whatever, you know, not that officially. Yeah. Do you have a garden? Are you gardening or?
I'm 62 years old, so I think I'm a little bit old for a lot of this now, I think, but I'm not very good at the gardening because I have lots of back issues, and if I do some gardening, it's physiotherapy or chiropractic treatment. I'm getting that. But it's very interesting. I buy my vegetables and I buy my produce from local producers. And it's interesting, it's just everything feels good from these people who, it's like someone of them said to me recently that we're in it to make a living, not a killing, These people, they work extremely hard, they're very committed, and, it travels about 10 miles, to get to here, and it just feels fantastic. And, I don't know, will I start doing the bit of gardening or not? I have to get my back sorted out first. But I think I grew up on a farm, and I just really, when farming was more normal before they started all these vaccinations for cattle and before it became so industrialized, it was more natural. And, I suppose now when I'm buying my food, I just try to buy from the small local suppliers. So I'm afraid I'm not really contributing much to the kin or to the being a kin person myself, but just trying to support the other. I think they're a little bit like the kin. I'm sure some of these people I support have never heard of it, but they're very much along, just their little bit of land and growing to make a living for themselves and beautiful produce as well. So I'm a bit of a fraud, Agata. I'm a fraud. I am not a really genuine kin person, I just love the whole concept of it. And, and as I said, just like supporting people who are producing that kind of produce, So.
Mary, have you heard of Ruth Stout? She has developed a system where she mulches so much with hay that she has not she must not do the remove the weeds or something like that. She only has to sow and then to was ist ernten? To harvest. She only has to sow and harvest, and she has been working. I think she's maybe still alive. She's working even though she's very, very old, and she's working only for a few, not even hours, a few hours, maybe a day in the garden, and the rest of the day she just enjoys life. And she and her husband are able to fully live out of the garden. So it must not be the way like you have to remove the weeds and do all that, but by mulching you add it's like the soil keeps wet enough for the plants you plant in there to grow. Then you have all the little insects and worms that transfer the mulch into new soil, and therefore you don't have to plow through the soil because the soil is very, very soft. It's not that hard and pressed down. And maybe at the beginning, if you have a very, very, let's say, bad, hard ground, you maybe get help at the first time to plow through the soil so that it's a little bit softer, and then you just mulch, and you never have to plow through it again, or to weeds to remove the weeds.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Yeah, mulch the grass. Yes.
I will write the name
thank you
to the chat. Ruth Stout. And she inspired me a lot.
Yes, it's also interesting just to meet maybe other people and get inspired, and it doesn't have to be that you have to just start tomorrow doing everything, but just be open, and who knows what comes. Maybe you will have fun doing that or whatever. We don't know, but you are doing enough. You are already supporting people who create good food, who provide good food to others, and it is also a good way how to start, and a good way to just contribute something positive to, and you do something good for your health, because you are eating consciously and you take care for the products you buy. So it's also a great way. And we all, as we said before, we all start where we are, and it doesn't have to be that everyone has to have a garden now. If you have, maybe you have different access to nature, and you have such, everyone is individual. So it's also not that everyone has to have a garden. You can do other beautiful things that will, it just has to be fun, I think, it just has to be fun, and otherwise it's not the purpose of it. So,
And I want to share a short little experience I had yesterday. When I was working in the garden, I do a lot of mulch onto my beds, and has been a lot of hay in the autumn, and now it's pressed down, and I needed some of the hay on another place, and I grabbed some hay where there was more. And then I grabbed something, and then I saw, there's something lying under the hay, and it was a little snake, and she was just enjoying the warmth of the hay there. And it was just, I love it, because we have so much of these little mice in that of eating all the vegetables in the garden. And so I'm always happy about all the snakes there, and I was like, oh yes, thank you. I will cover you and leave you alone and take the hay from another spot.
Yes.
It's beautiful. And I realized that we can, when we become aware and live in the moment, we see so much more in nature, all those little creatures, insects and worms, and to me they became more important, I respect more their life, and I don't kill them anymore. And I just say, okay, you are also a living being, and you have the same right as me to be here. I didn't give you life, and I will not kill you. Of course, sometimes it's not possible when you have some mosquitoes and stuff. You cannot save every mosquito. It's not possible. But just to be aware every day a little bit more, and it helps to change our consciousness. I think that's how it is, and that's how I experience it, especially after reading the books. I love them.
But even with the mosquitoes, the cleaner your body is, and the higher your energy is, the less they will come to you. And
Yeah, it's all connected to each other. Everything is connected in nature. And we can learn. I love to learn from the trees, because the trees are so powerful and so patient. They cannot run away. They cannot, do anything. If somebody comes and wants to cut them down, they cannot do anything against it. And still they live in the moment, and every spring they get new leaves and they are growing and they are conscious beings. So I love to be in nature and to observe trees. I love oaks. My favorite trees are oaks. I love them. Oh, I feel so, when I am close to an oak, I feel such a power, in my heart and joy. And but every tree has something to give, and every tree can be our teacher. It's just to be good to observe it. Yes, wonderful. Is there anything you would like to mention or to ask, something that's important to you would like to share, all of you, today on our call before we close, because we're coming slowly to the end? But yeah, we have still a few minutes. So if there is something you would like to say or share or ask, please feel free to do it now. I am quiet now.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about, I've been doing shadow and trauma work, and I've come to realize that, a lot of the negative things we do come out of our negative beliefs that have been imposed upon us, and also trauma, and it helps us become less judgmental against ourselves and other people that we see do negative things. And once we learn the more positive beliefs, and Anastasia has given us everything, I think, in that, and we can be much more positive people, and yeah, and understand unconditional love and non-judgment.
Yes, exactly. This is what I have experienced through my therapy and through my work. That's why I started. That's why after my therapy, past life regression therapy, why I decided to become a therapist, because I saw this huge potential and this great healing within myself, this great change. And I said, okay, now I have experienced it, so now I can also help others, to those who are ready and those who are willing, because not everyone is ready for it and not everybody wants to do it. And it's also the way that you cannot just be dogmatic and say everyone is supposed to do now this because it was good for me. It doesn't have to be good for others, but when you feel it, it resonates within your heart and you feel desire, you feel the call, then it is highly probable that this will help you to change, to transform something, and to evolve, because this is the most important thing. And I think the most important thing is to realize that we are all divine being, and you can realize it when you go through these experiences again, you experience them on your emotional level, and you forgive yourself. And today I don't judge myself. I know I have done a lot of bad things in the past, good things, and all was necessary and all was important. And out of that, I gained wisdom. Out of this experience, I got wisdom. And wisdom is this which helps me to grow and to choose a better potential, maybe, and to make different decisions today. And it's so much easier to live without this guilt, with this shame and all those negative emotions that are so heavy on our heart, on our soul, and they prevent us, stop us from evolving. And this is why I love this work so much, and why it helped me to become a different person. Yeah. Yes, wonderful. Yeah, so anybody else would like to say something? Or do you feel comfortable? Everything is set for today? What was important? Yeah, so I think we are coming to the end. Nothing, everything is fine. We feel good, and I really would like to say thank you very much for being with us today. Every meeting is different, and every meeting is so uplifting and inspiring. I love to do them, and yeah, so it would be great when you join us again. Today, I say have a great evening. We are all, no, Dennis, you have noon or afternoon? What? No, you don't have.
Oh,
Morning.
It's still morning.
Yeah, exactly. It's the morning, sure. So your Sunday just begun. Have a wonderful Sunday. We will have a wonderful evening. Yeah. So yeah, and thank you for being with us, and see you soon. And as I said before, connect with me on Facebook if you want to, and it would be wonderful. I love our community to grow, and check our webpage. You will find all the infos there. Telegram, Facebook, everything, and updates, and YouTube, of course. Okay, so thank you very much, and bye-bye. It was a great pleasure to have you here. Bye.